What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a very interesting Liverpool transfer news video, or sort of, because Naby Fekir finally gave a very honest, candid, extended interview on how his Liverpool move collapsed and how the injured knee claims were all lies and how, you know, the agent scuppered his move to Liverpool FC. So listen to this video carefully because I will tell you guys exactly what happened and what Fekir revealed to the media. And if you enjoy these videos, please leave a like. It just takes 1 second for you guys to press the like button. It really helps me out. And today is the release day of the PES 2020 game, and I will start a Liverpool career mode on that game. If you want that, just comment PES in the comments below. And also, what else should I do on the game? What else should I play? Which game modes do you want to see? And he gave a very extended interview to L'Equipe, but I will only read the part that concerns Liverpool just to save you guys a bit of time. So the journalist said, to explain your aborted transfer to Liverpool, we were able to talk about the condition of your knee or the intervention of your relatives. Did that annoy you? It touched me because there has been an incredible number of lies told about it. That's what Fekir said, and he continued, everything that has been said about my family in particular, it hurt them, like it hurt me, especially when you know that what's on the air is not true. When you are a good person in life, you always end up being happy and quiet. And I'm happy and quiet. Others are not well. We are not going to go into detail. So I'm not entirely sure what the lies about his family were about. The journalist continued, however, this episode still seems to be in your mind. And Fekir said this, I follow quietly because what he said to himself is not the truth. The knee, it's fine. I had a medical checkup in Clairefontaine, where the French Football Association football training center is. It went successful quickly. I haven't been told for a second about the knee. You were talking about President Ola's proposal. If my knee was really in a critical situation, do you think he would have made me such a proposal? Just my comment, the Lyon president made a big contract offer to Fekir to try to keep him at the club, to try to make him sign a new contract, and he's suggesting here that if there was any issues with his knee, the Lyon president wouldn't have offered that contract. And Fekir continued, but the worst thing is that some people can claim that it is because of my family that the transfer did not take place. It is a lie, but you have to deal with it. What is the truth then? The journalist asked. You want the truth? You should know that even I don't know it. I reassure you, I did my medical checkup, and after that Liverpool decided not to make me sign. At one point they wanted me to believe it was the knee, but there had to be an excuse, while the additional medical tests and Clairefontaine were very clear. The knee, it's fine and I feel fine. The knee, it has nothing about the transfer to do at all. So Fekir here is saying that Liverpool fabricated the issues that went into the media about Fekir's knee because they wanted an excuse to not sign him. But then what was the main issue? And Fekir will reveal that later in this interview. So I think this is a fascinating interview, and I'm really fascinated by just reading it to you guys. Did that upset you? The journalist asked, and Fekir answered, what may have annoyed me is that by trying to advance this pseudo-physical concern, it may have burned me with other clubs that were potentially interested, while there are other players who have experienced the same injury as me, and that hasn't prevented them from returning to a normal trajectory. But I don't have a grudge against Liverpool. I met them, our relations were excellent, they showed me that they really wanted me, but behind it, when you don't surround yourself with the right people, it hurts you. And now the journalist is taking the hint here, and he's asking, so it would be related to your former agent, Jean-Pierre Bernet, in your opinion? Maybe. Then, as I said, it's fate, but when in negotiations you are not informed of everything that is going on, it is not normal. We are a discreet family, but it's never good to want to divide the family. We went through all this like a little jolt. It was a dark moment in my career. And then the journalist pressed on this issue. How do you feel about your former agent today? In fact, when you have nothing good to say about someone, there's no point in talking. Otherwise, I'm going to say things I'm going to regret. It wouldn't fit my education. He himself knows what's going on. Today I have no more contact with him and I don't want any more. It's useless. Wow, so let's unpack this for a little bit. I think what Fekir is saying here is that when the agent was negotiating with Liverpool directly on his behalf, the agent withheld some information and maybe he asked a bigger signing on fee, a bigger agent fee if you like, and maybe Liverpool weren't happy with that because maybe the agent wanted a bigger money bonus for this transfer and Liverpool maybe agreed on a smaller fee initially, and when they saw that the agent was increasing the agent fee during the negotiations, maybe Liverpool backed out of the deal. And Fekir didn't know about that. Fekir said that some things the agent withheld some information he didn't tell Fekir, and maybe that's why he kicked out the agent and now he doesn't even want to have any contact with him. He doesn't want to talk with him. So I think the agent betrayed Fekir and scuppered his dream move to Liverpool, which is devastating. Can you just imagine what it feels like for Nabil Fekir? He was in a Liverpool home kit posing for the cameras. He did an official interview with LFC TV, Liverpool's in-house official TV channel. So everything, Fekir felt everything was signed, sealed, delivered. And then in the last moment, Liverpool withdrew from the negotiations. And Fekir doesn't really know why, but he suspects that the agent really upset Liverpool with something, and that is, I think, devastating for Nabil Fekir personally. Now he's at a good club, Real Betis, but they are not on the same level as Liverpool. They are a mid-table club, and for Fekir to see Liverpool go on and win the Champions League without him, just less than a year after this failed transfer move, it must have been devastating, and mentally it must have been very, very difficult to accept. And the agent asked Fekir, do you also feel that you have made mistakes on your side? And Fekir said, I didn't surround myself with the right people, but honestly I don't regret anything because even these mistakes have made me grow and progress. Did that make you more suspicious? The agent asked. Yes, with the experience and the mistakes you make, you are forced to be more withdrawn and reserved. There are some detestable things in this world that bother me. So afterwards, we must not forget that before being a profession, actually playing football is a real pleasure. And today I am in Sevilla, where I feel respected and loved. Besides, the weather is beautiful, and he's smiling as he's saying that. So I wish Fekir all the best, but this is a devastating story, because if you just think about what Fekir personally have gone through with this whole transfer fiasco, it's heartbreaking, because that was his dream move, to play for Liverpool. Not many players have the chance to play for such a big club, and now we are in the top 5 biggest and most successful clubs and the best top 5 best clubs in Europe. And instead Fekir is playing for a mid-table La Liga side. No disrespect to Real Betis, but they didn't even qualify for the Europa League last season, and this season they are not in Europe. But Fekir already scored, I think, 2 goals in 3 games in La Liga, but Betis only have, I think, 1 win in 3 games, but they already played Barcelona. So that's kind of expected. I wish Fekir all the best and good luck to him for the rest of the season and for the rest of his career. But I always think, what if Liverpool really signed Fekir? Would we have won the Premier League title? You will never know. I think being the difference just 1 point in some games, Fekir could have been the difference for Liverpool. And I'm really, really sad that we didn't sign him. But, you know, maybe the exact truth will never come out, what the agent said that or did that upset Liverpool. And even Fekir doesn't know it. he himself said, because the agent didn't tell every detail to him, which is a really disrespectful and disgraceful thing to do from a football agent. But they are all in it for themselves and in it for the money, so yeah, it's a big lesson for Nabil Fekir. The Mirror newspaper is reporting that Liverpool want to extend the contracts of James Milner and Wijnaldum. Milner, who moved to Anfield on a free transfer from Man City in 2015, only has 10 months remaining on his deal. But the report states that extending Milner's stay at Liverpool is one of Liverpool's priorities, and also talks are thought to have been held between club officials and Milner's agent. One stumbling block might be his salary, because Milner is now on 120k weekly wages, and maybe Liverpool want to lower that wage a little bit because he's getting involved less and less. He's not a starter player at the moment, and I think it's a little bit too high of a wage for a squad player, if you like, even though Milner has great experience. And if Milner accepts the less wages, which I think he should, because he can still offer a lot as a substitute and sometimes as a starting player, but in not every game, I think Milner still can offer a lot, and he will only go down to a smaller club who aren't challenging for the Champions League, who aren't challenging for the Premier League title from Liverpool. So I think Milner should stay at least one more season, and according to the same source, Wijnaldum will also enter negotiations over an improved contract. Wijnaldum already made more than 100 appearances for Liverpool since the beginning of the 2017-18 season, and a contract upgrade will reflect his importance. And I think Wijnaldum deserves a bigger wage as well, because he's a regular starting player. He's playing about 33-35 games in the Premier League every season, and around 45-50 games in total for Liverpool every season. So I think that that's a very, very good news that we are trying to extend the contract of Milner and Wijnaldum. But Van Dijk actually came out and said that he's a little bit surprised of this new contract talk in the media, because Liverpool haven't approached him yet. So I'm not sure why the Daily Mail and other newspapers were reporting that Virgil van Dijk is set to sign a new contract, because apparently that's not really true. But that's what is difficult about these news sources, that you don't really know what the source is from the articles, and sometimes they can be false sources. So Van Dijk apparently is not set to sign a new contract, but I think Liverpool will start working on that sooner or later, definitely. And Benitez did a Q&A interview recently, and he was asked about his most underrated players, and also what he thinks is best free players that he has signed in his whole career, who has been the best free players. And this is what he said. Let me think about this. It's so difficult. If I'm talking about my players from my time in England, it has to be Fernando Torres, Xabi Alonso and Javier Mascherano. If you talk about success and performances at the top level, those players stand out. And what a spine that was. Pepe Reina, Jamie Carragher, Alonso, Mascherano and Torres, and Gerrard behind Torres. That was a great team. It's such a shame that we couldn't win the Premier League title, probably because we didn't have great wingers at that time. If we had players like Mane or Salah at that time, we would have surely won the Premier League title back then. And there has been a slight problem with the fixtures at Liverpool, because especially with the young players, Harvey Elliott and Sepp van den Berg, because Liverpool have been drawn against MK Dons in the League Cup, and that game is scheduled for September 25. But they also this season entered for the first time the EFL trophy, and that is the Liverpool under-21 side that is playing in that competition. And we have a game against Fleetwood Town, which is managed by Joey Barton, on the same day. So Elliott and Van den Berg already played in the opening game on this tournament, where Liverpool lost 3-2 to Oldham Athletic, and both Elliott and Van den Berg started in that game. So eventually they would have started against Fleetwood, but Jurgen Klopp probably wants to give them some first team experience, and Jurgen Klopp wants to start them against MK Dons. So I think Liverpool are in a really tricky situation, because we probably need to divide the young players between two teams. I think what Liverpool should do is put out a mixed team against MK Dons. So maybe some first team players like Origi, Shaqiri, Naby Keita, who really need some playing time, should start, but also Ryan Brewster should start, and maybe one of Harvey Elliott and Vandenberg should start, and the other one maybe should start in the EFL trophy. And I think Liverpool should take the League Cup seriously, but also we should try to give the young players as much playing time as possible. So it's an interesting conundrum, and I'm not sure that Jurgen Klopp right now knows what he will do in this exact situation. And Fabio Aurelio, who you remember, he was our main first choice left back at Liverpool when Rafa Benitez was the manager, and he was great at free kicks. I loved him as a player, but he got injury prone at the end of his Liverpool career, which is why he probably left the club a little bit too early. But he said on Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool and how much we progressed in the last 5 years, some interesting things. So this is what Fabio Aurelio said. It's amazing. It's a completely new experience now after the changes to Anfield, to come into the stadium and watch a game. I was here in 2014 for a holiday, and it was July, so there were no games, no football. It was a big pity, because I would have liked to come back to Anfield to watch a game. But now I had the opportunity for a massive game, and I can see around how different it is and how big Liverpool has become. It was already big before, but now you can see how they grow with the trophies and the way that the team is playing. That is brilliant. I'm really happy that Fabio Aurelio also sees the massive progress that Liverpool have done in the past few years. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Liverpool video. More to come, and Liverpool Career Mode and Master League videos to come later today and tomorrow. So really looking forward to that. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome. See you later. Goodbye.